The 7x7 Rubik's Cube is the easiest Rubik's Cube ever. In fact, the 3x3, to most people, is the most difficult puzzle ever. Why, you might ask? Well, it's obvious. We all started with the 3x3 Rubik's Cube, some even the 2x2. Whichever one you started with, we all had something in common. We scrambled the cube, believing it is as easy as solving it, and then end up with one of the 14 quintillion combinations a 3x3 can have. 14 quintillion. Yeah. How can I solve this, you may ask? Probably side by side, color by color, piece by piece. You have no idea on how the cube even works, so the best thing to do in this scenario is to wander into YouTube and see how others do the 3x3. You end up watching tons and tons of tutorials, not getting what they are doing on the cube nor what they are saying. You slowly do build an understanding on how the cube works and turns. From things like center colors never move, and to solve the cube layer by layer, then to solve it side by side. Most people quit here. Some move forward, and even some manage to solve the cube for the first time. Those people who manage to solve the cube are now in the 5% of people who can't solve the Rubik's Cube, which is 1 per every 20 people who ever tried. Fun fact, you are in the 1% range of people if you ever solved a 3x3 in under 10 seconds. That's crazy. Anyways, you might be saying, how is a 3x3 the hardest cube? In simplest terms, you need to learn everything to solve a Rubik's Cube. Nothing is familiar. You need to understand how turning works, and learning notation and algorithms, and the full package. This is the reason why so many people quit the Rubik's Cube before even solving one side. Think about it, you managed to solve a Rubik's Cube, and probably are really fast at it. But would you want to learn how to solve a square one? Squan, short for square one, is one cube that gets absolutely no attention from the cubers because it's a completely different cube with different notations, different algorithms, and even different understanding on how it turns. Learning how to solve Squan is like the same thing as learning how to solve a 3x3 for the first time. And from that, we all now know why the 3x3 is the hardest puzzle. Now let's make our way to the easiest puzzle, the 7x7 Rubik's Cube. First, let's look at the 4x4. It is 50% of 3x3 since the other 50% is restoring the centers and edges. That means learning how to solve a 4x4 is half as hard as learning how to solve the 3x3. It is much easier than that though, since you already know notations and how a Rubik's Cube turns. Next, the 5x5 Rubik's Cube. If you know how to solve a 4x4, the 5x5 is as simple as that, if not easier. Yes, it takes more time to solve a 5x5, but that's simply because there's more pieces to move and to solve. The exact understanding leads into the 6x6 Rubik's Cube. 6x6 is no different than the other puzzles, but it does open up one thing that all cubers hate: parity. Parity are cases you get on a Rubik's Cube which are impossible to solve, like a corner twist or a flipped edge on the 3x3. These cases need specific algorithms to solve them, which flips or moves the alignment of edges to fix the impossible case. I'll make a video more about this topic. 6x6 is notorious for parity since you have to deal with 3 different impossible cases you can get. 4x4 and 5x5 have parity algorithms. 2x2 also has one, but it is as easy as a T-perm from solving. Anyways, these parity algorithms are the only thing you must learn to solve any Rubik's Cube bigger than a 4x4. Besides parity, 6x6 is as easy as a 5x5. That finally leads into the 7x7. The only difference between a 7x7 and a 6x6 is that a 7x7 only has the possibility of getting one parity case. That's it. The 7x7 is easier than the 6x6. The 6x6 is just a bigger version of the 5x5, which is also a bigger version of a 4x4. To solve a 4x4, you must know how to solve a 3x3. To solve a 3x3, you must understand everything that goes on with the puzzle, learning algorithms, notations, etc. The 7x7 is simply a bigger version of a 4x4, which consists of 3x3 and rebuilding the centers and edges. It's that easy. Now you guys know why 7x7 is easier than a 3x3. I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope you guys like and subscribe because this was really fun. There's a little bit more to the 7x7 solve, and you can watch it if you want. This is a slow solve in my part, but it's still impressive. I can solve it pretty quick.